हेलो नमस्कार दोस्तों। सो इस वीडियो में हम लोग यहाँ पे इंग्लिश के जो भी क्वेश्चंस हैं रिलेटेड टू द सीटेट एग्जाम, सो इसको यहाँ पे देखेंगे एंड चेक योर नॉलेज बिफोर सीबीएसई चेक यू। सो बिफोर गेटिंग द exact answer, please check your answer whatever you are able to correct the options, is it correct or not. So the first question is, sitting arrangements should be flexible in a language classroom because it helps a learner change their place frequently. It facilitates pair work and group work. It helps the teacher in maintaining the discipline. It reduces the responsibility of the teacher. Okay, it reduces the responsibility of the teacher. This is the reason sitting arrangement should be flexible in the language classroom. Okay, again, learners require a language by learning about the culture of the speaker of that language, using the language in a natural interactive environment, analyzing the structure of the language, studying the literature of the language. So the most appropriate answer would be learning about the culture of the speakers of that language. Again, picture comprehension is effective to promote what? Literary skill, art, artistic skill, speaking skill, and listening skill. So picture comprehension is effective to promote literary skill. Okay, so literary skill, picture comprehension is effective to promote literary skill. Teaching grammar is useful to improve literacy. Okay, so if you are learning the grammar, then it will improve your literacy, not fluency or accuracy. For fluency you have to practice, and for accuracy you have also to write and practice. So English grammar is the most important factor in improving the literacy of the student. Okay, again, a good test on reading comprehension will have questions that test in interference, interpretation, and evaluation beside the comprehension, that focus primarily on the structure and the word used in the text, that text the textual knowledge thoroughly, and that encourage learner to write answer without errors. So the answer would be that test inference, interpretation, and evaluation beside comprehension. A good test on reading comprehension has questions that test inference, interpretation, and evaluation based comprehension. All round development of a child implies. So एक बच्चे का जो ऑल राउंड डेवलपमेंट होता है उसमें क्या इम्प्लाइज करता है, वो क्या जो है उसमें शामिल करता है. फॉलोइंग द नेचुरल स्टेजेस ऑफ द चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट, प्रोवाइडिंग द वोकेशनल एजुकेशन फॉर द लर्नर इन द फंक्शन इन द एनी गवर्नमेंट in any work environment, harmonious development of the physical, emotional, and the mental faculties, and specializing training in the make the learner jack a jack. So the answer would be option C would be the most correct answer here. Okay, so next, teacher should not give corporal punishment to learners because it is only an emotional release for the teacher. It makes parents very angry, it is a risky, it creates stress and fear in the learner. Okay, so it creates stress and the fear in the learner. It would be the correct answer. A mixed ability group is heterogeneous in knowledge and skill. Knowledge and skill. A mixed ability group is heterogeneous in the knowledge and skill. So option A is correct. Next, comprehensive evaluation refer to assessment of. So comprehensive evaluation refer to assessment of summative assessment test. It's refer to summative assessment test. Comprehensive evaluation refer to the summative assessment test. When a teacher asks her student to write a letter after having a group discussion, she is she is integrating different language skill. She is integrating different language skill. Pre-reading text task are meant for Pre-reading tasks are meant for explaining the grammatical items used in the reading text, evaluating the reading skill of the learners, giving the meaning of the difficult word and phrases, and introducing the main ideas and the motivating the learners. So option C would be the correct, giving the meaning of the difficult word and the phrases. Curriculum is an educational program which does not state the means of the evaluating whether these educational ends have been achieved or not. The lesson planning detail for the topic, the educational purpose of the program, the content, material, etc., teaching strategies, and the learning experience which will be the necessary to achieve this purpose. So does not the means of the evaluating whether these educational ends have been achieved or not. So option A would be the Correct. Curriculum does not state the means of the evaluating whether the educational objective have been achieved or not. Okay, speaking skill can be best developed by the enabling the learner to avoid all the errors while speaking. Galat, read challenging and the difficulties, text and communicating the real life situations. Listen to the model provided by the teacher. Okay, so listen to the model provided by the teacher. Next, in learning a new language, multilingualism is an interference. Multilingualism, what is the multilingualism? An interference while learning a new language. So in learning a new language, multilingualism is an interference. Kepler explained that L2 or second language classes student will face the difficulties on thinking in that target language as they are influenced by their native language or vernacular language and cultural pattern. The most important feature of an effective language classroom is opportunity for the learner to imitate. The most important feature of effective language classroom is opportunity for the learner to imitate. An important feature of the effective language classroom is wanted to learner to imitate or repeat difficult word as a pronounced by the teacher. Okay, so what is mean by the imitate? It means repeat. Okay, so repeat again and again. Next, direction, question number 76 to 84. Read the passage given below and answer the question that follow. It is your duty to train and develop your mind. It is your duty to train and develop your mind and acquire knowledge as much knowledge as you possibly can obtain. That's a good thing. Knowledge is like a deep well fed by the perennial springs, and your mind in the little bucket that you drop into it, you will get as much as you can assimilate. The brain, which is the physical organ of the mind, is one of the two precious product of the eons of the evolution. The other is the imponderable social instinct. This wonderful brain, whose every convolution represent millions of the years of the time, really distinguishes you from the animals. Many animals have very powerful sense organ. The eagle, the ant, the dog have keener sense of the sight than man, but no animal has a more evolved brain and a higher intelligence. If you do not develop and use this brain to the utmost of your power, you are more akin to the beast than to the Homo sapiens. Knowledge and the mental self culture will confirm untold blessing upon you. You will not be victim of superstition and demagogy in religion and politics. You will know what your duty and do it. To be wise and independent in your religion and in your politics, not to be the doped and duped by the selfish, perist and scheming politician of the capitalism and so-called socialism. In this not a in this Is this not a noble aim worth striving for? Most men and the women today are not free and the wise. They are like kites flown by the priests and the politicians who hold the string. They are the mm, fleeced and fooled on account of their ignorance. Half of ills of men are due to the ignorance. Okay, so what according to the passage is the duty of the human being? To make ourselves cultured, to digest knowledge, to study correctly, to acquire knowledge and develop the mind. So option D would be the correct. Okay, again mind has been compared to, so mind has been compared with the bucket, balti se compare kiya gaya hai. Again, for human beings, their brain is one of the two product of the evolution. The other is physical strength, self culture and the knowledge, keener sense of the sight, instinct from the living in a society, instinct for a living in a society. So option D would be the correct. What is the man like if he does not develop and use his brain? He is like beast. So option, he is akin to the beast. Okay, so what will knowledge and the mental self culture confer upon man? So many blessing, untold mysteries, richness of the knowledge, many and the money and the material things. So many blessing, so confer upon many blessing. Okay, so if one acquires knowledge and develop mental self culture, one will not be the victim of superstition and demagogy. Okay, so the author implies that the most men and women do not possess capacity for the free judgment, are manipulated precisely by the politicians, are ignorant to their behavior and lack socialist instincts. So author implies that most men and women are manipulated by priest and the politician. So option B would be the correct. Next, pick out a word from the first paragraph that means same as the inexhaustible. So it would be the perennial means सालों साल या साल भर. So in या लगातार बोल सकते हो, continuous. So inexhaustible. Okay. Next, the word untold as used in the second paragraph is untold, an adjective, an adverb, a verb, and a noun. So it is used an adjective. Okay. Next, read the following given passage given below and answer the question that follows. The study of the history provide many benefit. The study of history provide many benefit. First, we learn from the past. We may repeat mistake, but at least we have the opportunity to avoid them. Second, history teaches us the what question to ask about present. Contrary to the some people's view, the study of the history is not the memorization of the names, dates, and places. It is the thoughtful examination of the force that have shaped the courses of human life. We can examine event from the past and then draw inferences about the current event. History teaches us about the likely outcomes. Another benefit of the study of the history is the broad range of the human experience which is covered. War and the peace are certainly covered as are national and international affair. However, matter of the culture, art, literature, and the music are also included in historical history. Human culture is an important part of the history. Emotional emotions like passion, greed, and insecurity have influenced the shaping of the world affair. Anyone who thinks that the study of the history is boring has not really studied history. So it is written, well, uh, uh, about the history, and this is totally true. Okay, from my side. So by studying history we can avoid mistake, question the authority, repeat the mistake, and predict the future. So avoid mistake by studying the history we can avoid mistake. Okay, so my our answer must be based on the provided passage. Okay, so you have to very careful. Which method of the teaching history would be the in the best support? Weekly quiz on the day, analyzing the wars and their causes, applying the history in the modern society, and using flashes card, and then so option C would be the correct. Okay, option C would be the correct. Next, once again. Uh, Sorry, not option C. It is a option A. Okay, on dates, weekly quizzes on date and events. Okay. Next, history is all about. So history is all about studying about the boundaries of the human experience. So option A is the correct. Again, history is not. What is the main idea of the passage? The role of the history is to help student with the deal with the real life, and the students should study both national and the international history. And studying history the help us to learn the from past. Using history the just and is not just a memorization. So यहाँ पे option D is correct. Okay, pick out of the word from the first paragraph that means the same as the result. So outcomes is equal to result, both are the synonyms. Okay, so we have completed English section from 2012 Ctet PIQs. Thank you.